This is Charles Joyner, and you're listening to The Carnage House.
Oscar De La Hoya got an exhibition fight booked against Vitor Belfort, which I found out today. I don't like Oscar De La Hoya that much, to be honest, just from some of the stuff he's done in public recently. Like, I thought maybe it's not his control, but I didn't like the Chuck Liddell fight against Tito Ortiz because Chuck was just obviously smacked up from TRT, and then what De La Hoya was saying that he could beat up like Canelo Alvarez or something because they've had a beef because Oscar used to be Canelo's promoter and they had a big falling out and then they had a Twitter spat. Any thoughts on Oscar in an exhibition fight against Vitor Belfort?
I mean, it's just a bit of a money grab, isn't it? That one again, but I think Oscar De La Hoya, he seems like he's just sort of losing the plot a bit. I think he's been getting on the.
Gary Packers. He might need some money. He might need some money.
He's been on the Maradona sideline.
Yeah,
I hope Vitor juices up.
I think he already has.
Fight.
He looks pretty.
I hope he gets on all sides of TRT and whatever else.
Would you be in favour of, for example, for those boomers who do want to have a bit of a scrap like those guys, would you be in favour of, for example, a no prohibited substance league equivalent, where they say you can get on, everyone signs a waiver. He can be on gear, you can be on gear, do what you like.
The Gear Olympics one, might say.
Yeah, the Gear Olympics. I mean, they're out of their prime. If they die, they die.
Well, they probably need the testosterone.
They probably take Viagra anyway. It's already on the performance enhancers.
The picograms. Those picograms. No, I don't know, but then it's... I don't know if it's... Then, people might start watching that and then go, oh, well, maybe we should just do this for all combat sport, and then it goes back to...
Juice league. Do you reckon there is, in the UFC currently, do you reckon there's a juice problem? Or do you reckon there is...
Oh, there'll definitely be people on it and working the system.
Who do you reckon's on it?
Marty Fake Newsman, the CEO of it.
Well, yeah, I don't know. It's,
Some people do have crazy genetics.
Yeah, like Romero.
But even still, do you reckon,
hold on, but
in any of the gyms you've been at, or that you visited or you trained at, have you ever been in a situation where you feel like there are guys?
Oh, you hear stories. There's definitely people. We don't get tested. At our level of fighting, so there are definitely people on it, but you can see it from a mile away. But my mentality with that as well is that I hate people that juice like that, and then my mentality is that. Well, if you feel like you got to do that to win, then you're mentally weak. And then you might get strong, you might get strong from it and explosive, but if you can't land the shot, then what's going to happen? Then your mind's going to start breaking, and then you're just going to get pieced apart anyway. So, yeah, there's definitely a problem. There's definitely people that do it.
But that's one of the things I love about Tyson Fury. He's one of the other names I wanted to bring up because he's got his third fight booked with Deontay Wilder. But one of the things I love about Tyson Fury is he goes into the press conference with only wearing pants, and he's got the king dad bod of all-time king dad bods, and he's piecing up people who are I think you look at guys like Deontay Wilder. I mean, Andrew Ruiz is also fat, but Anthony Joshua is probably the most shredded person of all time. But you just look at a guy like Tyson who just has all the skills. Who can beat these beefed up guys? Yeah,
but that's it. In the end, skills are gonna reign supreme because it's like with Tyson Fury. You saw with Deontay Wilder in that second fight, he couldn't land the shot. So it doesn't matter how juiced up you are if you can't land the shot, then it's like.
Yeah, well, Deontay had those heavy legs from the costume. We got to remember.
That could go down as the world's most ridiculous costume. I've never seen anything like.
It was sick.
It was so sick.
Worst excuse.
No, I think it probably was heavy. It looked heavy.
That's
I think it looked like 100 kilos.
But even if it was the excuse, even if the excuse is valid and it made him just don't use that excuse. It just makes you look ridiculous.
Yeah, obviously he looks ridiculous, but he was happy to look ridiculous in the costume in the first place. Yeah. I don't think he was really.
I thought it looked so dope.
I'm not surprised Andy enjoyed the costume.
Andy loves the show business. Andy's
I do.
WWE fan.
Andy's about the theatre.
Me too. I love WWE as well. Now, quick, we got a good little Oceania, Australasia, Trans-Tasman fight looks like it's going to come up between Adesanya and Robert Whittaker.
Yep.
Now, I know you have a history of training with a few Australian UFC fighters. I don't know if you have much to do with Robbie, but what do you think about that fight, and who'd you pick?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like Whittaker's looked stronger than Adesanya. A bit looks like he's improved from that loss even more. But Adesanya's looked really good as well. I think you look at the mental side. That Adesanya's already knocked him out once, so he'll that mental sort of
Adesanya
advantage.
says he knocked him out twice in the first fight.
Yeah. He pretty much did, didn't he? He just got saved by the bell at the end. I think I'll help Whittaker prepare for that.
Yeah, you would be a good training partner for that.
Has he reached out to you?
Well, I met him on Fight Island when I went there, and I was sort of in contact with his team, and I've seen his team recently. So, I mean, I think there aren't really many people that have that similar style to Adesanya. Not that our styles are exactly the same.
Just
but
being
I think
about 7 foot tall and long.
yeah, pretty much. And they can be like the movement and stuff like that as well. And so yeah, I think I'll help him out for that one. If
they pay good coin for that type of stuff.
Nah, like it depends. It depends who you go for. Sometimes you know.
Like when you help me out Bam, because did you help out Bam?
Yeah.
Like because he was fighting that tall Norwegian guy.
Volkov.
Yeah, no, Struve.
Yeah, Struve.
Yeah.
Struve. Like
Almost.
Andy.
Sorry, go Matt.
Do they? What's the situation? Like,
Should
do they bring you in? Do they pay you? Do they feed you? Do they house you?
Surely they're going to pay you if you get knocked out. Surely they're throwing.
No, I'm not getting knocked out though. So no, I mean like you sort of go like I'm going as well because I know it's valuable experience for me. Obviously things like going to Fight Island, like I didn't pay a cent for that. Like quarantine, all that experience. So part of it you're going for the experience of getting quality rounds as well. Like when I'm sparring him, it's quality rounds for me. So I'm looking at it from that point. It's making me a better fighter. Obviously, like he looks after us. Like he's.
What's the best thing about Fight Island? Like I would guess they have some cool perks or something. Like you can get massages there, or like what? You have to have like a bar.
It's not. It's pretty boring to be honest. Like you're locked in this. Like they have a few cool things you can go and do, but I mean for 10 days you're just locked in this, this hotel.
Oh, is that because of quarantine, though?
Yeah.
Like normally, I guess they wouldn't have the Fight Island.
Yeah, that's. I mean, yeah, if you're just in Abu Dhabi, it would be sick. 'Cause you can go and do whatever. But when you're there, you're just sort of in your room. Then you train. I mean,
did you meet the ring girls at all?
Yeah, I met a few because one of them's Aussie, Red Dela Cruz. So she was like on the flight.
Shout out! We can get her on the podcast.
She's on the flight home with us, so she's pretty cool.
Sit next to her.
Nah, she was up the front. They gave us our own row, but and she didn't care about me. I mean, there's like UFC stars around. Like
who's the most popular? Yeah. Do you reckon when you were there? Like, but the people that are obviously
Ty's popular, like, because he's like
he's got a brand.
Yeah, but he's also like very social and like in terms of like popular with. I mean, the only people that are there are like the workers, like that work for the UFC, and he's like mates with everyone. Obviously, everyone loves Whittaker as well. Like for the weigh-in, the weird one was when Khabib had a really hard weight cut, and then he came in a bit late. But it's like everyone was sort of just like waiting for the weigh-in and just like relax and talk, and there's a bit of noise. As soon as Khabib walked in, it was like the noise just got sucked out of the room. Like it just went dead silent. Everyone was just like, and that was like everyone. Like
really?
Even like. That's why, and I mean, they probably didn't even like consciously realise, but I was just sort of watching and saying, like, he definitely had an energy about him.
Was it a bit surreal seeing him in real life?
Yeah, it was weird.
You
Yeah,
fangirl out a bit.
I tried not to. I tried to play it cool. Like Dana, like when we were just walking down the lobby, like Dana White was just walking the other way, and we just sort of like, shook his hand, just try and play it cool.
Yeah, you nice guy.
Yeah. Just said hey, but you're with like, he's nice because like. Probably because of who you're with as well, so it's like you're part of like a team there. So he's gonna. I don't know if he'd be if I just saw him now, he probably wouldn't be like shaking my hand and But
yeah, well, Ty's got his fight coming up. He's actually the third fight on the McGregor card. So I think they've got him, and then I can't remember who the fight underneath is. I think it's Stephen Thompson versus someone else. And then they've got Ty. I forget.
Might be Gilbert Burns, Stephen Thompson.
Stephen Thompson, Gilbert Burns. That'll be fun. Ty's got his one coming up. I was really happy that Ty's got a few wins because I thought there was a chance he was going to get cut after he lost a couple in a row. I know. People say you lose like 2 or 3 in a row in the UFC. You can be looking at the back door.
Yeah. Was that the training camp you were in when there was talk about it? Did that affect him at all psychologically? Like, was it part of the motivation that like if I lose, I'm going to get cut?
I think, like it was all sort of. I think with him, like because he's got like a brand and a personality, and he's quite unique. They really want to keep him on, but there was definitely that. Like he was on a 3-fight losing streak, so obviously if he'd lost that one, it would be 4. So you're aware, there's definitely that vibe, and it was spoken about a little bit that like this is like obviously every fight's a must win, but this is like a do or die. Like you've got to win this fight. So that's like when he finished him at the end of the first round, like we just went, like we were just like that was a good feeling because it's just knowing, like and even him warming up. I think normally he's like quite relaxed when he warms up for the fights, but it felt like a little bit more tension this time. So yeah, when he won, and we've been preparing for like 4 months because it kept on getting pushed back the fight as well. So it was like we were all pumped up. It was good.
Did you get to go on the beers at all?
You don't drink, do you?
I don't drink, but he did straight away. Just Dana took it because we were in Saudi, and I think not Saudi. Where is it? Abu Dhabi. I think with they're all like the sheiks there that had paid for the UFC to be there.
Yeah.
And I think it's like a dry country.
I don't think they're allowed to drink.
Allegedly dry.
Yeah.
But they're like I think obviously for tourism and stuff like that they allow it. But straight from the cage, they didn't let him do the shoey in the cage, but they took him to Dana's like private room, which was just kitted out. I just gave him a shoe. Got all the Nelk boys to spit in it, and then it was really weird. And
the
we're
Nelk
just all
boys
sort
are
of
pretty
like
cool. I like them.
Yeah, I like them too.
And one more quick question. Just thought of it. You know, you can kind of mirror Adesanya's style in helping Robbie train. How do you feel like you'd go against Adesanya in a kickboxing match?
Yeah, I mean, I've wondered that. Like, I feel like I do well. Like, I back myself to always do well. I think, obviously he's heaps experienced, but my aim is that I'm going to be better than him. So.
That'll be a fun fight. I'd love to do that.
I can see that happening down the line, like later on, like a big like trans-Tasman kickboxing fight, or
100%. That'd be fun as hell.